There were 6 of us, a screenwriting group, and we met every month and we read each other's work and we pushed each other, we encouraged each other. We were really serious about it. And every one of us, I suppose, really had the same dream. Every one of us absolutely had the same list of writers that we admired above all others. And at the top of almost every list, the iconic screenwriter, William Goldman. All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Marathon Man and The Princess Bride. Films really that had shaped us as children, and films that had made all of us want to write. Now there was one thing that none of us, not one, had ever done, or even really considered doing: writing to William Goldman. I did it anyway. So one evening I sat down and I wrote William Goldman a letter. Now this wasn't any kind of professional letter, it certainly wasn't a pitch letter, it wasn't even a request. No, it was a genuine personal letter from someone who had grown up watching William Goldman's films and who had been changed by them. And I told him about those films, I told him what those had meant to me as a child, how they led me in a direct line right here, right now, to New York City, to this writing group and to writing screenplays at all. Now, I had no agenda, no strategy, no carefully worked out or considered ask. I expected nothing. Perhaps a form letter from his agent, and perhaps, more likely, nothing at all. I sealed the envelope, and I sent it off into the universe, and then I forgot about it. I wasn't expecting anything at all. It was frankly a joy to write that letter until one evening, a week or two later, I came home back to my New York apartment after a busy day, and I'm going to tell you what was waiting for me. Because nobody in that group, nobody, not even me, would have predicted it. I pressed play on my voicemail, and a voice, deep and gravelly, that I recognised immediately said, "Hello, William Goldman here." William Goldman was very kind about my letter. He said it was heartfelt. Now, he said he wasn't able to read my screenplay for copyright reasons, as is very common in Hollywood. But he had called. William Goldman, one of the most celebrated screenwriters in the world. He'd listened to my message, picked up his phone and called me back. Simply hearing those words, "Hello, it's William Goldman here," that was a dream come true. I played it, frankly, again and again. I couldn't get enough of hearing those words over and over. And I never really forgot what that simple, heartfelt letter had done. Not what it had achieved, what it had done. 6 writers, all of us dedicated, all of us talented, and all of us really with William Goldman at the top of our list. Now, none of them had written. Why did I? It wasn't because I was more strategic or that I was more calculated that this would somehow work. It was because I had something genuine to say, and I said it. Not a technique, not some kind of formula, not any type of agenda beneath the words. Just honest feeling expressed as directly and as frankly as I could manage. Now, Goldman didn't respond to a good letter. Goldman responded to a sincere letter, and those are not at all the same thing. And here's something I've come to believe about sincerity. we feel it. Not always consciously, not always immediately, really. But even on this skeptical world, on some deep level, a human being can tell when another human being is speaking from a genuine place rather than from a performing place. And this is where it becomes directly relevant to you, my friend, because you are in the communication business, and sincerity, real, unmanufactured sincerity, is the most powerful thing in that business. Much of the content produced online by experts, it's not bad in itself, but it is performed. It's designed to appear valuable. It's engineered to look authentic. It's calibrated to sound trustworthy. And the viewer always knows. Not in any way that they can necessarily articulate, but they feel it. The way Goldman felt my letter, the way a client feels when you're genuinely interested in them versus simply going through the motions. Sincerity is something that cannot be manufactured. The moment we try to deploy sincerity as a strategy, well, it stops being sincere, which means there's only one real way to have it. Mean what we say what we mean, and have no agenda underneath our words. Not as a technique, as a commitment. My drama school at Bretton Hall put on plays that ended in silence. No applause. Not because the work wasn't good, not because it wasn't excellent, because the work wasn't about applause. It was about expressive truth. What was genuinely being felt and communicated in that theatre space, in that room, between those people, in that moment. That is what William Goldman responded to. That is what your audience responds to. Not the quality of your production, not the consistency of your posting schedule, whether they can feel what you mean. Whether they can feel that you mean it. Here are two ways of communicating something. First, let's look at the performed way. Now, the performed version really is chosen for effect. It's designed to appear genuine. Here's the sincere version. Now, the sincere version is said because it needs to be said. And there's no calculation going on underneath it. The difference between these two versions is not always so clear, and it's not always entirely visible, but it is always felt. That's why William Goldman picked up the phone. Not because my letter was well written, because it was real and because it was felt. I think about that letter to William Goldman sometimes. The very act of writing it, of sealing the envelope, of posting it out into the universe and knowing perfectly well that in all likelihood nothing would come of it, and doing it anyway. Because there was something genuine that I had to say, and something genuine that I had to say to the right person. Every video I make is a kind of a letter. I don't know who will watch it. I don't know which one of the videos will land or won't land. I don't know whose morning or afternoon or evening it arrives at, I would hope, exactly the right moment. What I do know is that the video has to be real, that the moment it becomes a kind of performance, it becomes a kind of noise. And surely, folks, there is enough noise already in this universe, no? Look, if any of this is landing for you, if you feel that there's some sort of a gap between what you're communicating and what is actually reaching people, then it might be worth a conversation. Just message me. Just that. Just as I messaged William Goldman. Now, this is episode 2 of the communication business. Episode 1, let me put it up here if you haven't seen it, is about a car journey on the Yorkshire moors and 6, 7 words, depending how you count them, that changed how I teach. And episode 3, I'm going to put it up here when it's ready, watch out for it. It's about a film set and a very famous film director, and what it means to be in character at all times. Take good care of yourself and take good care of those you seek to work with.